This is a ticker trader short video on how to read trade signals and what they are. So I'm going to presume you've already read the you've listened to the introduction, you've watched that, and you have an account. So I'm just going to log in. There we go. And first of all, you'll see that I immediately go to the signals list. So we have a list of signals here with 4s and 3s next to them. And we have lots of different pages. We can scroll up and down here, have all of these pages, and we have a filter here, and we have a drop down list. So you can see that in the index, a stock index column, we have different stock indexes. We've got S&P 500 there, we've got NASDAQ, we've got FTSE 250, the UK index, we've got FTSE 100. We should have some CAC and some DAX. There we are. So we've got the DAX, the German index, the CAC 40, the French index. So we can pick from a list here which index we want to focus on. So we're going to look at the FTSE 250. What that's done is listed the level 3 and level 4 buy indicators for the FTSE 250 on a grid. And we can go through that grid and we can see the date the indicator or the signal was triggered. We can see that here. And we can see the strength of the signal as well. And I'll explain to you in a minute why that's important. We have a filter. So by default, we're viewing the last 12 months trade signals for the FTSE 250 index. And the level 3 and level 4 for buy, and minus level 4 and minus level 3 for sell. Now if we want to, we can view the level 2s as well. A level 2 buy and a level minus 2 is a sell. And just click refresh, and there you go. We have some level 2 indicators on there. So we have 3, 4. So the highest is level 4 signal strength. And the reason that's the highest is what that means, the 3 and the 4, or the 2, is that on the 13th of October 2022, the BMO Commercial Property Trust, which is a member of the FTSE 250 index, the UK stock index, had 4 indicators triggered at once, which signalled this stock is a buy. And if we look at the 3 again at the top row, so we've got Tritax, Big Box, REIT, PLC, and we have a signal strength of 3. So we have 3 buy indicators that triggered on the 13th of October to say that that stock, Real Estate Investment Trust, is a buy. I'll explain that to you in a minute how that works. So Cineworld, down here, that only has a level 2 buy. And we have the price that the signal was created at. So the price was 128 when the signal was triggered with 3 indicators. And it goes on. I'm sure you kind of get what I'm saying here. And we have a couple of links. We have the chart link, we have the forum link. And we're interested in the indicators, the signals here, the 3 indicators per signal, or 4 or 2. So we're going to click the chart link and we're going to have a look at that. And this is an indicator that was triggered on the 13th of October. If you bought off this indicator on that date, you bought at 128, and we rose to 136, a little bit of a drop yesterday to 133. These are day indicators, so daily session indicators. At the end of each daily session, the stock price is processed by an algorithm, and it uses a convergence of different indicators to come up with a trading signal. And as I said, whether it's a 3, a 4, a 2, minus 2, minus 4, minus 3, the higher the number, the stronger the signal. So a 2 buy signal is a weak signal, but it's a buy signal. If you want to trade off that, we're saying it's there. Maybe you want to look at this for the future. If you want to trade off that, you can. But we're saying that potentially might be a little bit less profit, but that stock, we're saying, according to the algorithms, is a buy. Now, we don't analyze any market data in terms of fundamentals for each of these companies. We don't analyze the geopolitical environment. So the trade signals are purely on the technicals of the price for that stock. If you're new to technical trading, that's something you want to research so you can understand that. So we have a button here, and that says tick a data point. So what that's going to tell us is a little bit more information about that stock indicator, the stock signal, how we got that the buy, and what it means. So if we click that, we're going to be taken to this page, and we have a bit more information on here. It's quite interesting. So we still have the signal here, and we have the chart, and if we want to, we can change the number of months that we view it over. We can change the line to a candlestick. We can do different things with that. If we want to, we can zoom in. There isn't much to be gained, I think, by zooming in. We can clearly see that that's an effective signal. But what we do have down here is more information for you to aid your decision-making process, which is what signals are for. We're not saying go out and buy this stock. We're saying this might help your decision in whether you want to buy, whether you want to sell. If you're going short on this stock, when's the time to get out? Well, actually, there's a buy indicator. It could be now, but you've got to make that decision yourself. So what we have is our signal chart. Then we have the FTSE 250 index chart for the last 3 months. And what that tells us is the state of the market in terms of the number of signals and indicators. And the reason I say that, let's differentiate what a signal is, what an indicator is. So a signal has a number of -2, -3, -4, or 2, 3 and 4 for buy, and a minus is a sell. And the signal is made up of indicators. So a level 4 buy indicator, a level 4 buy signal will have 4 indicators. And what we have here is a bar chart that tells us on that day, probably around about 58% of signals were buys, and it tells you how the indicators were made up for those signals. And we've got it on a legend here. And then we've got the sells. So we can see that we've got some level 4 sells, level 3 and level 2. And then we've got what looks like, level 2 buy, level 3 buy, no level 4s. And how you can read the direction of the market is, if you look, all of a sudden the number of buys has dropped dramatically on a scale over a period of just over a week. These are trading sessions, each one of these. And then it's bottomed out, and the number of sell indicators has started to decline, and the number of buy indicators started to increase. So that can give you an idea of where the market is heading. So we can see that our stock signals are telling us that the market is probably oversold in terms of technicals, not fundamentals, technical stock prices. Whereas here, it was saying the market is probably slightly overbought, and we've got a lot of sell indicators around this area. So this was a selling opportunity, and this is a buying opportunity for the market as a whole. But as you know, with stocks, anything can happen, which is why we use as much information as we can to aid our buying decisions. So let's look at what this tells us, signal performance. What this is telling us is, over a period of trading days, the performance on average for this given stock here for the different indicators. So we've got level 2, 3, 4, -2, -3, -4. Level 2 buy, level 3 buy, level 4 buy, level 2 sell, level 3 sell, level 4 sell. And it's telling us that the best performing indicator on this stock, this is an average of 5 years. So there's a lot of data gone into building this chart for you. And it's telling us over a 5-year period, on average, In 5 trading sessions, a level 4 indicator for this stock will achieve a 12.6% increase. And then we've got 10 trading sessions, a level 4 indicator on average over a 5-year period will achieve 13.5% profit. Now if you're going to use a margin account, you can only see that you have a big opportunity. I'm not making any recommendations in which account you use to do your trades, but those more experienced people amongst you will know that if you have £1,000 to invest and you use a margin account, you can invest £5,000 off your £1,000 on a 5-to-1 trade, and that would mean that you'd amplify the profit by 5 times. So in 15 trading sessions, on average, a level 4 indicator for this stock over the last 5 years would achieve 20.15%, 20.15. So that means if you invested £1,000 on a 5-to-1 margin, your profit in 15 trading sessions will be £1,000 or just over. This doesn't take into account your dealing costs, doesn't take into account any spread or any overnight charges. If you're using a leverage account, then you're going to get overnight charges for each of those 15 trading days. And then we've got 20, there's a bit of a dip, these are the averages. But it also tells you, we're very open about this, about which ones to avoid. So what it's saying is actually the level 3 sell indicator, or the sell signal made up of 3 sell indicators, is the worst performer. In 5 days it's going to get you 2%. There are others that perform worse after 5 days, but if we look after 25 days, it's going to lose you on average 5.9%, 10%. And even after 65 trading days, so we're talking 3 months, on average it's going to make 3%. So the average is made up of some loss-making positions and some profit-making positions, in terms of if you were to trade on those signals, every signal over that 5-year period. That's how we got the average. We're not going to say every time you're going to get this. So we're going to say the highest one here is this one, 50 trading sessions, 34% for a buy indicator, a level 4 buy indicator, which is made up of a level 4 buy signal, which is made of 4 trade indicators. Now that's going to get you profit of 34.11% on average. A computer algorithm has gone through every single one of the trade signals for every stock that we have listed. It's got the price of the stock for every signal on the day that the signal was generated, and then it's calculated on average how that stock performs after the signal was generated. So the signal will be generated on day 0 on average for a 5-year period. So that's pretty powerful information. You have to remember that over a 5-year period a lot happens. There's acts of war, there's changes of presidents, changes of prime ministers in Europe. There are currency fluctuations, there are changes in commodities, there's the current oil and gas crisis, COVID-19, all that stuff happens. These are environmental factors that can influence stock prices, and we have to remember that all of this data is based on fundamental stock prices. So some very powerful information there for you, and that is how you use a ticker trader signal and what the 2, 3, 4 means. A 2 signal means 2 indicators generated that signal, a 3 means 3 indicators, and a 4 signal means 4 indicators. And as we can see, the level 4 for this stock generates the biggest return. I hope that helps, and I hope you make a good profit in your trading.